All right, we are back with a new suppressor review today, guys. I'm really excited about this one if you can't tell. Spoiler alert, I've already shot the suppressor and I know how awesome it is, but I'm gonna try to hold that back. We're gonna try to be as objective as possible here. This is the new PTR Vent 2 suppressor that has been making a splash across the internet for the last 6 months or so. PTR Industries was at SuppressFest 2023, so some of you out there on my channel have already heard this in person if you came out to SuppressFest. I myself shot it. I don't do a lot of shooting at SuppressFest because I'm usually busy running the event, but I do recall just how amazed I was the very first time I heard it. I ran into him again at SHOT Show. We finally got together so they can send out one of these test units so I can show it to you guys in depth, in detail here on NFA Review channel. So very, very, very excited today. Phenomenal performing suppressor. Anybody who has heard this over the last month when in my travels shooting, novice shooters, I've had shooters that haven't even been around suppressors before, and advanced shooters that have a large suppressor collection themselves. They've been very taken aback by how well this performs. But again, try to stay as objective as possible. Try not to geek out here about this new suppressor. We're gonna cover the details here in the studio first, and we'll hit the range, and you guys can tell me in the comment section below what you think. Let's get to it. All right, with the boring stuff. Overall length, 7.6 inches. Diameter, 1.5 inches. Weight, 8.9 ounces. Pretty large looking can actually, coming in only at 8.9 ounces. That is of course because it's 3D printed titanium. We will cover that a little bit more in detail here. Let's just keep going with the specs. Caliber, primary is gonna be 9mm of course. It is full auto rated. They said try to keep it to 3 mags and give it a 10-minute cool down, and then you can proceed. Is rated as well for 357, 38 special. No barrel length restriction there, and then 300 blackout, minimum barrel 8 inches. Those are not full auto rated, just the 9mm. Your mount at the back is going to be 1.125 by 28, and it is going to ship with a 1/2 by 28 fixed barrel adapter. So in the rear, as you can see, I do not have the included mount. In fact, I have a Rugged Suppressors 3-lug mount that works quite well with the suppressor. I like it. It has a nice internal design, doesn't add much length, if at all, if at any, to the suppressor, and it works great with the 2 hosts we're going to be using today. MSRP, elephant in the room, $1,425. That is a lot of money, especially for a 9mm cannon, but let me tell you, don't turn the video off just yet, because you're going to understand why. So let's get into why it costs $1,425. Not only is it performed very well, it's very quiet. They patented, I think there's a list of patents, but one of their patents is basically a 3D printed monolithic structure with purposely induced porosity. In short, they call it PIP. So when they machine, I'm so used to saying machining suppressors, when they print the suppressor, they designed porosity, okay, think like a sponge, into the baffle stack design internally. So as the gas is being cooled and slowed in the chambers, the face of each chamber itself is actually porous, again, like a sponge, so that gas is not too choked up, and it's allowed to, at a different speed, at a different rate of cooling, make its way through the suppressor. So as the projectile leaves the bore aperture, you will have gas following it, and it's better to have it follow this way than this way. While we're on that, I know in the military they're doing studies right now on carcinogens and shooting with suppressors and shooting without suppressors, and low back pressure systems is becoming a forefront of a push right now, because you're basically inhaling unburnt gunpowder and smoke on a daily basis. So they're trying to negate that for future problems, cancer down the road. So having a lower back pressure system will not only increase your life, obviously, it will help keep from battering your weapon system to hell, and just ensure that everything runs a lot more smooth. Typically, when you do uncork a suppressor, you do sacrifice suppression. It's almost like we're staring down the barrel, for lack of a better term, of a paradigm shift right now in the suppressor market. The 3D printing technology is becoming more commonplace as companies pick up on it. They're able to do way more complex structures inside, for lack of a better term, baffle stack. There's no real stack anymore. It's more of a design, a structure, should I say. Way more complex. And again, in that, they're able to develop technology such as PTR's PIP. With the advances in the material with 3D printing, we're going to start seeing a lot of cool stuff like this. And because of the ability to change the density, should I say, right, of the material, you know, a normal machine baffle is not going to let any gas pass through it outside of mouse holes, stuff like that. You know, pre-drilled holes, pre-machined holes that allow gas to travel through the stack at a fixed rate. Doing it this way, being able to share the gas flow with the bore line, with the actual whole face of the structure as the gas goes through the suppressor, you're changing a lot. You're able to control a lot more, specifically the back pressure, at the same time while not sacrificing sound. And I'm speaking from first-person experience, because the first time I heard this thing at Suppress Fest, I thought it was a legit squib load. I actually stopped shooting. I've been reviewing suppressors now for almost 20 years, and I was taken aback by just how well the tone sounded on the suppressor. And then again, as I mentioned earlier, I let others try the suppressor, and they had the same exact reaction that I did. They were all very shocked at just how well it performed. Now it is, of course, your full-size, larger 9mm profile, okay? So it's going to be, you know, a lot larger than an Omega 9K per se. But, you know, I don't have the booster installed. It's not horrible. Those of you that watched the review on this new Beretta 92XI or 9211, whatever you want to call it, have already kind of got a little sneak peek at the suppressor. And over here, I have the 1/2x28 fixed. And then I have a Rugged Suppressors booster assembly with a 1/2x28 piston in it. So today, so I can stop rambling in the studio, we're going to cover the suppressor on a lot of different hosts. I want to shoot that Beretta again for you. I want to shoot this PTR post sample. So many of you out there that have been following on Instagram know that I got my own 0702, so I'm now a manufacturer. So this is a post sample full auto machine gun based off of PTR's version of an MP5, for lack of a better term. So one thing to note while we're on this, these come sear ready. You basically just buy their platform, put in your transferable or post sample sear, and you're ready to legitly rock and roll. So we'll be shooting that today with the 3-lug mount. And then in the closet, I have a lever action Henry Model X 38 Special 357 we'll be shooting as well, and the Beretta. So we'll kind of get a nice little gauntlet with all the different mounts that you could use on the Vent 2. So hope you guys have a little bit of understanding of what this is. Again, you can't take it apart here in the studio, so I can't show you what the inside looks like, save for cutting this in half. Maybe we'll save that for another day. But for right now, I just want to shoot and use this thing. As far as cleaning schedule, they have a very in-depth explanation on their website about it because of the way it's designed. Basically, it's a soak and wait type system. Blow it out with air, and you're good to go. So let's go ahead, hit the range, and I want you guys to put on your high-quality headphones, and I want you to hear what I've been experiencing for the past couple months. Let's get to it. Before we get shooting, a quick word from our sponsor, Capital Armory. They're the nation's largest silencer dealer and have expanded their silencer shipping ability to multiple states, with even more on the way. They can still ship directly to Texas residents, but they can now deliver silencers directly to your door for those in many other states. The process is simple and keeps everything in-house. So there are no additional dealers, transfer fees, or headaches. They manage the entire process from start to finish to make your life easier. The process is very simple. Once you purchase a silencer online through their website, you'll be contacted to begin your online customer profile to provide them with fingerprints and other necessary information to complete your e-file Form 4. After the ATF approves your form, Capital Armory will initiate electronic transfer paperwork with you, and your silencer will be mailed directly to your front door. And the best part is, your customer profile only needs to be done once, so you'll be ready to go for all future orders. Head to capitalarmory.com today to learn more. Damn. Love bugs. Yes. All right, everybody, this review has been a long time coming. As I mentioned at the beginning of the review, I first heard this back in November of 2023, and now you guys have finally seen the full review on it. So what are my thoughts? Well, today we shot it on a Henry 38 special lever action, an MP5N full size, a Beretta 92 series, and then with the bonus footage that you guys are gonna see at the end, a B&T APC-9 submachine gun. More on that in a second. I don't know, it's hard to pick a favorite out of all of them. Let's just start with the lever gun. One, you're not going to get any gases escaping from any ejection port because it's closed, you know, it's a lever action. That was probably the best sound we got all day, although I have to say, besides mechanical noise movement from the bolt carrier of the MP5, pretty close second. You could hear the bullet whizzing through the air and impacting the berm. I was shooting, for the unsuppressed scenes, I was using 147 grain subsonic for every unsuppressed scene. And then with each host, I ran through a gauntlet of 147, 158, and 165 where applicable. I'll have to look and see what weight I was shooting today with the 38 Special. I brought a bulk case. I'll have to look when I get home. But you can hear the bullet whizzing. You can hear the impact of the bullet into the dirt. So that was pretty cool. The tone on the suppressor is probably the best I've ever heard. If I had to put this up against another tone profile of another suppressor in existence that you guys might be familiar with, that would be the GSL Technologies Phoenix. Now that can is about yay big in diameter. It's basically this, like a little paint can. So this thing is doing a lot of work for its size, put it that way. The tone profile between the two suppressors is almost identical. I almost want to say this is still quieter, just to my trained ear. Again, MP5 sounded great. No gas to the face at all. If anything you saw cooking off was smoke, I had to spray some CLP in there because I'm pretty bad about cleaning the MP5. And last time I was out here, it was giving me some problems when I wasn't filming. It was just a fun day. So before filming, I tossed some oil in there. After the oil burned up, we were good there, but no gas to the face. The Beretta, I was getting some back pressure. I could feel some unburnt granules peppering my sunglasses and stuff while shooting. Eye protection's key. So sounded great. And that was really with only the 147, which I thought was odd. The 158, I didn't really get much, and then the 165, I didn't get any back pressure. But with the ammo you can buy on two-way warehouse, the 147 grain loaded by Capital cartridge, I was getting a little bit of back pressure on the Beretta. Other than that, at the end of the video you're about to see, I decided to, I always keep this around, the APC, and I need to do a damage assessment to it. But I had some sort of case failure while I was shooting, so I decided to shoot some bonus footage for you guys. I'm going to show you at the end of the video where I placed the camera at 25 yards from the berm. So you got berm, camera, and then I went all the way to 100 yards. So yeah, the bullet would go past the camera or the microphone at 75 yards away, and then 25 yards beyond that, you can hear the bullet impacting the dirt. To give you guys a pretty cool profile sound. I usually don't do bonus footage, and I had a different gun with me, so I'm like, we'll shoot the APC-9. Shot the unsuppressed portions, it went well, and then I shot suppressed, and I got down to apparently the last 4 rounds in the magazine, and one of the casings exploded. It blew the little grip trapdoor open on the bottom of the APC, blew the magazine out of the gun, broke the magazine, and my ears are still ringing because, of course, I was shooting suppressed, so I didn't have my ear protection on. So that was with Fiocchi 158 grain factory loaded ammo, so I will be having a little chit chat with them later. So I kept all the rest of the ammo and all the spent casings so I can send it in, even the little shrapnel pieces. So luckily, I'm good. That's what's important. But sometimes things like that do happen on the range, and I'm fully transparent with you guys. But as far as the suppressor performance, they nailed it. PTR, I don't know what black magic you guys are using on your printer, but keep doing it, and I cannot wait to review year 556. I didn't really find any faults in this, and that's really hard to do. I usually try to nitpick something. Even the machining on the outside with all the dimples really helped increase that surface area for heat dissipation in between me moving this hot suppressor around host to host all day filming. So again, hope you guys enjoyed the review. If I missed anything, which I probably did, if you have any intimate questions about this specific suppressor or anything else I noticed that I just glossed over just now, just leave it in the comment section below, and I will take the time to find your comment and answer it for you. See you guys next time. Now you can watch me blow my eardrums out. Bonus footage, APC 9.
Unsuppressed and then suppressed.